Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Naishtike Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Svapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 17, The Victory of Hiraṇyākṣa. So, we are seeing here that Hiraṇyākṣa, being extremely mighty and powerful, is looking for somebody to fight, and finally he jumps into the ocean, and after swimming for many years in the mighty waters, he finally reaches to the capital of Varuna Dev, that is Vibhavari. Now we come at text 27. Tatropalabhya suralokapalakam Yado gananam vrishabam prachetasam Smayan pralabdvam pranipatya nichavat Jagatami Dehi Adhiraja Sanyugam. Translation.
Vibhavari is the home of Varuna, lord of the aquatic creatures and guardian of the lower region of the universe, where the demons generally reside. The Hiranyaksha fell at Varuna's feet like a low-born man, and to make fun of him, he said with a smile, "Give me battle, O Supreme Lord." Purport: the demoniac person always challenges others and tries to occupy others' property by force. Here, these symptoms are fully displayed by Hiranyaksha, who begged war from a person who had no desire to fight. Hare Krishna.
So, after reaching Vibhavari, which is the home of Varuna, abode of Varuna, Hiranyaksha fell at the feet of Varuna, Nichavat. The word used here is Nichavat, that he is falling like a very low person. And he said, oh my Lord, I beg unto you that please, Sanyugam. What is Sanyugam? I am begging for a battle. And this is how Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that the demoniac person always challenges and tries to occupy others' property by force. And therefore, this Ishopanishad principle of Ishavasyamidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bunjita Magridaha Kassis Vidhanam. One should know how much is mine and one should be satisfied with that quota. It is not that everything I want in my life. Right? Everybody's everything I want. And it may not be very grossly visible in our life. Like we may not be very grossly like Hiranyaksha trying to occupy somebody's property. But at times, we want, generally, we want a job like him and we want children like his, husband or wife like, it would have been better like this. And then we always keep on comparing. There is always a tendency to crib around and always keep on, comparing one aspect of somebody in one's life. not knowing that even that personality is having his own share of great struggles, and we do not know the complete picture. So, so here it is. Srila Prabhupada is quoting the principle of Ishavasya. And here, Hiranyaksha is purposefully falling at the feet of Varuna and saying him, please give me fight, give me fight. And this is how he's making mockery of Varuna Dev, who is a very, very elderly and a great respected personality in the universe. Text 28. Tvam lokapalo dhipati bruhachrava viryo viryapahodurmadaviramāninām vijitya loke akhila daitya danavan yatrajasuyena purajayat prabho. Translation.
Translation: You are the guardian of an entire sphere and a ruler of wide fame. Having crushed the might of arrogant and conceited warriors, and having conquered all the Daityas and Danavas in the world, you once performed a Rajasya sacrifice to the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Now here, Hiranyaksha is glorifying Varunadev very, very sarcastically. He's saying, oh Varunadev, you are the guardian of the entire sphere and the ruler of the wide fame. You are known to be ruling the mighty oceans across the universe. You have crushed the might of the arrogant and conquered all the Daityas and Danavas in the past. And you have performed Rajya Yajna. And you cannot deny a fight somebody who is begging for a fight. So this is one of the rule of the Kshatriya, that he will never yuddhe chapi apalayanam. Bhagavad Gita describes about this, that a Kshatriya can never say no to yuddha. So yuddhe chapi apalayanam. So here Hiranyaksha purposefully is provoking here Varuna, reminding him of his past glories, because he's thinking maybe Varunadev also, he will deny the fight. And therefore, very sarcastically here, Hiranyaksha is speaking to him. Text 29. Sa evamutsita madena vidvisha drudam pralabdho bhagavan pampati rosham samuttam shamayan svayadhiya vyavochatanga upashamam gatavayam. Translation.
Thus, mocked by the enemy whose vanity knew no bounds, the worshipful lord of the waters waxed angry. But by dint of his reason, he managed to curb the anger that had sprung up in him, and he replied, O dear one, we have now desisted from warfare, having grown too old for combat. Purport: As we see, warmongering materialists always create fighting without reason.
So here, very, very amazing verse this is. Thus mocked by whom? By an enemy whose vanity knew no bounds. Right? Who is mocking? Sa evam. Here it is. Sa evam utsikta madena vidvisha. So he is a utsikta madena. He's a enemy whose vanity knew no bounds. The worshipful lord of the waters waxed angry. Varunadev, who is a very, very worshipable personality, he became angry. But by the dint of the reason, he managed to curb the anger and thus replied. But by the dint of the reason, he managed to curb the anger. So one is, upon whom we are becoming angry. Right? This is very important. Like if we are walking, on the road, and if we pick up a fight with a pig, then of course the pig might have done something wrong to us, but it shows our character also, with whom we are picking our fight with. Right? There is a beautiful story of once a temple elephant. He was very beautifully decorated. He was supposed to be, he took his bath, beautifully decorated. And he, along with his wife, this elephant and his wife, they were walking, and up from the river, they were coming to the temple because the procession of the Lord was to be carried on him. And suddenly, there, the newly married, this, the pigs, the pig couple came, and the husband wanted to impress upon the wife. And he said, and the husband said that, I can fight with anybody in the creature. And suddenly the wife saw this elephant, and she was also intoxicated. And she told her husband that, can you fight this elephant? And the pig said, this elephant, he is no match to me. And the dirty way, the way he was, the pig, he just went in front of the elephant and he began to say, can you fight with me? And the elephant said, no, no, please accept my humble obeisances. I accept my defeat. And the pig elephant began to laugh, and he just looked at his wife. Wife was also so happy and thinking that, what a mighty person I have married. But the she elephant was in distress, and she said that you could have kicked this pig in, I mean, like a football you would have done. Why did you accept your defeat? And the elephant said, no, no, look at this. I am just getting ready for the procession of the Lord. So, upon whom we become angry and for what reason is also very important. And here, the great magnanimous Varuna, he became angry because of such impudent words of this Hiraṇyākṣa, but by the dint of the reason, he managed to curb the anger. And he said, Beta, my dear one, we have now desisted from warfare by growing too old for the combat. And then Prabhupada writes in the purport that the warmongering materialist always create fighting situation without reason, and this you will see everywhere, right? Everything is going on very well. This one fellow wants to join NATO, other person attacks him, the whole world is put into the war, right? And then, like this, one after another, and especially in Kali Yuga, which is known as the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, this warmongering is very, very common. It's common amongst the nation, it's common among the societies, among the states, and it's between even the relatives also. Later we'll hear this in the symptoms of Kali Yuga, 12th canto. So for some very flimsy reason, the the very dear relatives, they will pick up some fight and they will stop talking to each other if they are civilized. And then there are so much variety in that, right? And therefore a devotee is very, very careful in giving respect to everyone and not expecting respect in return. Amanina manadena. So this is a beautiful verse, how the behavior of Varuna Dev, how he conducted himself in that very provocating situation. Srila Prabhupada writes about this. Greatness of a man has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situation. Very amazing quote by Srila Prabhupada. Greatness of a man has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situation. And here we see Varuna Dev's reply to provocation. Right? Text 30. पश्चामिनान्यं पुरुषात् पुरातनात् यः संयुगे त्वां रणमार्गकोविदम् आराध्ययस्यति असुरर्षभाहिते तं मनस्विनोऽयं गृणते भवादृशा. Translation.
You are so skilled in war that I do not see anyone else but the most ancient person, Lord Vishnu, who can give satisfaction in battle to you. Therefore, O chief of the Asuras, approach him, whom even heroes like you mention in praise. Purport: aggressive materialistic warriors are actually punished by the Supreme Lord for their policy of unnecessarily disturbing world peace. Therefore, Varuna advised Hiranyaksha that the right course to satisfy his fighting spirit would be to seek to fight with Vishnu. Hare Krishna.
Then Varuna said, Paschami Nanyat, I do not see anybody other than whom? Purushat Puratanam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the most ancient person, Purushat Puratanam, Lord Vishnu. What he will do? Yam Sanyuge Tvam Ranamargo Kovidam. Very, very beautiful verses. He is Ranamarga in the tactics of the war, Kovidam, very much skilled and learned. And therefore, O chief of the Asuras, please approach him, for even the heroes like you mention him with great praise. Manasvinoyam grunito grunato bhavadrisha. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that the aggressive materialistic warriors are actually punished by the Supreme Lord for unnecessarily disturbing the world peace. So it is not that something goes unpunished. No. The personality, the people, the society, the nation, the religion will suffer their collective karma if they disturb the world peace. And that's what we see. That's what we see in the, if one can simply see the history from the bird's eye view, one can see that anybody who is disturbing the world peace, the creation of the Supreme Lord, which is, then there will be a destruction by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is how Varuna advised Hiraṇyākṣa. He said, the right course of action would be for you to satisfy your fighting itch is go and fight with the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Very similar course of action. Later we see Banasur is also approaching Lord Shiva and he's saying that there is nobody to fight with me. And Lord Shiva says, wait for a while. All your desires will be fulfilled beyond your expectations. And then you see son of Krishna having affair with daughter of Banasur right in the middle of the palace, and with triple Z plus security, and Banasur is shocked. So when the Lord wants to teach a lesson, he can teach a lesson with extreme dexterity. There is no question that how the Lord can see, and therefore he is called as Ranamarga Vedam. He knows the ways of the fight that anybody can hardly imagine of. Text 31. Yam tam veeramarat abhipadya vismaya shayisyase veerashayeshvabhivritah tvam tvatvidhanat satam asatam prashantaye rupani dhatte sadanugraha ichchaya. Translation.
Varuna continued, on reaching him, you will be rid of your pride at once, and will lie down on the field of battle, surrounded by dogs for eternal sleep. It is in order to exterminate wicked fellows like you and to show his grace to the various virtues that he assumes his various incarnations like Varaha. Purport. Asuras do not know that their bodies consist of 5 elements of material nature and that when they fall, they become objects of pastimes for dogs and vultures. Varuna advised Hiraṇyākṣa to meet Vishnu in his boar incarnation so that his hankering for aggressive war would be satisfied and his powerful body would be vanquished. Thus in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 17th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam entitled Victory of Hiraṇyākṣa over all the directions of the universe.
Varuna continued. Upon reaching him, who? He is that Purusham Puratanam, and he is the Ranamarga Kovidam. When you reach upon him, Hiraṇyākṣa, you will be rid of your pride at once. And then, just by one slap, Varahadev, he destroyed Hiraṇyākṣa. You are going with Mahagadam everywhere, and your opponent comes and just slaps you, and you are dead. So Varuna, and he is angry also. He's content. He's graceful, but here anger of Varuna is also coming out, and he say, "And you will lie down in the battle, surrounded by dogs for eternal sleep." It is in order to exterminate wicked people like you and show his grace to the virtuous one. Paritranaya sadhunam and vinashaya chidushkritam. The Supreme Lord takes various incarnations, and now Varunadev, he gives the hint. Who is that incarnation? Like Lord Varahadev. Rupani dhatte sadanugraha ichchaya. That he appears in incarnation as Varahadev. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that asuras think themselves to be immortal, and they forget that they also have a body which is made up of the five elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. And when they are fallen, they will just become the objects of pastimes for the hogs and the vultures. And therefore, Varuna Dev, he advised Hiranyaksha, instead of moving around here and there and trying to create a disturbance in the peaceful society, wait for the Supreme Lord and approach Lord Vishnu, because you are so much hankering for a war. Soon you and your body will be thoroughly vanquished. And this is how Hiranyaksha was given befitting reply by Varunadev. So this is where we conclude 17th chapter. We will slightly close early today. So we'll conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.